6th edition of the most coveted food awards of the region. G Plus presents Guwahati Food Awards in association with Blender's Pride Reserve Collection, supported by Awesome Assam Department of Tourism, Ohomia Pratidin and Pratidin Time, Purabi Milk, Magic Cook, Dip Tips from Annapurna, our hospitality partner Vivanta Guwahati, our outdoor partner, Outreach Advertising. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to call upon stage Sunit Jain, publisher of G Plus and director of Guwahati Food Awards, to kindly come on stage and begin the proceedings with the welcome address and also share with us about the genesis of Guwahati Food Awards.
The idea to start Guwahati Food Awards was also envisaged almost 6 months back as an idea because we thought food and beverage is integral part of our lifestyle today. We all spend time going to eat out or dine out and experience fine dining experience with our family members and friends. And I feel that as a city is growing, as a city is evolving to more progressive ideas and progressive thought processes, it is very important that and food of course plays a very important and integral part of our culture. So it is important that we recognize the best practices. We create a platform where the food and beverage industry members come together, participate, and thus create a platform which rewards and recognizes the best practices in the industry, in the city.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a competition of this stature is not possible without the jury, who have the toughest job at hand. I'd now like to take this opportunity to introduce and invite on stage the esteemed members of the jury who have done some back-breaking work to judge the winners of GFA 2020. First of all, I'd like to call upon stage Kashmiri Borkotaki Nath, promoter of Assamese cuisine, who's been taking our traditional cuisine to some of the finest restaurants all over the country, from Trident to Marriott, contributor to Godrej Food Trend Book, guest chef at Star Hotels, consultant to MasterChef Season 6, and someone who loves cooking and feeding people. Recipe developer with Safola Oats and founder of Northeast Food Forum. Please put your hands together for Kashmiri Borkotaki Nath. Well, our next member from the jury is someone who graduated from the Indian Institute of Hotel Management, Guwahati in 2010 and started working in the kitchen with Lalit Intercontinental Group of Hotels as a chef. He later went on to become a management trainee with them in the food production team. He was posted in Khajuraho, Udaipur, Jaipur, Goa, Srinagar and New Delhi, post which he moved to Miami to work for the Carnival Cruises for a year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a huge round of applause, Abhishek Bedi Barwa. Ladies and gentlemen, our next member from the jury is a restaurateur and a food enthusiast. He has been in the food and beverage industry for almost a decade now, and under his leadership as the co-founder and partner of Termaya, the leading restaurant lounge in the heart of Guwahati, has set a benchmark in its own way in Northeast India. With his voyage into the catering industry, his journey into the F&B industry, has been full of innovations, explorations with his team, ultimately resulting into a palette that the customers rejoice at this point in time. Please put your hands together for Rachit Sahu. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next member from the jury is someone who's been interested in food preparations since childhood, under the guidance of his grandmother, Jaya Soliha, who also wrote the famous cookbook called the Calcutta Cookbook, learned about various types of food and loves to fuse different kinds of dishes. Please put your hands together for Nathaniel Giri Soliha. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome the founder of Gourmet India, a specialist in recipe development, molecular gastronomy, reconstruction of food, flavor profiling, consulting chef. The list of his capabilities can just go on. He has been the former editor of Times Food Guide and the backbone of the Guwahati Food Awards, and our main motivator in this annual endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome renowned food critic and international culinary judge and principal advisor and chairman of the jury, Guwahati Food Awards, Mr. Suresh Hinduja. I would now request editor of G+, Swapnil Bharali, to kindly felicitate our esteemed jury members, and a huge round of applause for all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely honored to have amongst us our chief guest for the evening, Honorable Minister of Excise, Forest and Fisheries, Government of Assam, Shri Porimal Shuklawadya. I request the Honorable Minister to kindly come on stage, and I request Sunit Jain to kindly accompany the Honorable Minister on stage. Token of appreciation, and I request Sunit Jain to kindly do the honors.
Guwahati Food Award 2020. ইয়াত উপস্থিত যিসকল জুৰি আৰু অৰ্গেনাইজাৰ যিসকল ইয়াতে উপস্থিত, গুৱাহাটী যিসকল পাৰ্টিচিপেণ্ট বা বিভিন্ন ক্ষেত্ৰৰ পৰা যিসকল আহিছে, গোটেইখিনিক মই আন্তৰিকভাৱে আমাৰ শুভেচ্ছা আৰু নমস্কাৰ জনাইছোঁ। মই ধন্যবাদ জনাওঁ যিসকল অৰ্গেনাইজাৰ, তেওঁলোকক মই কেইদিনমান আগতে ক'লো, এটা আমি ফিচাৰী কলেজত গৈছিলোঁ, ইয়াতে আপোনালোক গোটেইখিনি বহি আছে, আপোনালোকে কওক যে কেতিয়াবা কিবা এটা আপোনাৰ ঘৰত আলহী আহিব, বিশেষকৈ আমাৰ অসমত থকা মানুহ, কাৰণ ইয়াতে গুৱাহাটী ফুড এৱাৰ্ড লিখা আছে। গুৱাহাটীত থকা মানুহ আপোনাৰ ঘৰত আলহী আহিব, আপুনি কেতিয়াও ভাবিব পাৰেনে যে কিবা তেওঁক মাছ নখুৱাই আপুনি এৰি দিব? আৰু এই মাছটো আমি কেনেকুৱা ৰান্ধিব পাৰোঁ, কেনেকুৱা বনাব পাৰোঁ, কেনেকুৱা দিব পাৰোঁ, এই যে মাছৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত কওক বা যিকোনো ক্ষেত্ৰত কওক, এই যে চিন্তনটো এই আপোনাৰ ফুড এৱাৰ্ডৰ জৰিয়তে, কম্পিটিশ্যনৰ জৰিয়তে আহিছে। কাজেই যিসকলে কম্পিটিশ্যন পাতিলে, মই প্ৰথমেই কৈছোঁ প্ৰধান, আমি মানুহবিলাকৰ প্ৰধান জীয়াই থকাৰ যিটো প্ৰধান উপায়, আৰু আপোনালোকে কম্পিটিশ্যন পাতিছে 6 নম্বৰ বাৰ হ'ল নেকি, এইবাৰ 6th হৈছে নেকি এইটো। কাজে যিসকল কম্পিটিশ্যন পাতিলে, যিসকলে পাৰ্টিচিপেট কৰিলে, যিসকলে স্পন্সৰ কৰিলে, গোটেইখিনিক মই চেলুট দিবলৈ আহিছোঁ। এটা সঁচাকৈ ভাল কাম আপোনালোকে কৰিছে। এনেকুৱা যদি আমাৰ এই কামটো আগুৱাই যায়, তেনেহ'লে আমাৰ যিটো ৰুচি, এই ৰুচি লাহে লাহে আমাৰ সমাজত প্ৰতিফলিত হ'ব, আৰু আমি চিন্তনটো কৰি থাকিম। খুব ভাল লাগিছে আজি এই অনুষ্ঠানত আহি। মই মানে ইয়াতে যিসকল আপোনালোক আছে, গোটেইখিনিক পুনৰ আমি শ্ৰদ্ধা জনাই আমাৰ বক্তব্য সামৰি দিছোঁ।
We would like to take this opportunity to felicitate you, and I request Sunit Jain to kindly do the honors. So now, without any further delay, let's begin with the award ceremony. We'll begin with the most promising new entrant. Well, we had mentioned in the very beginning that this year is unique in its own way, that we have received the highest number of fresh entries from new restaurants this year. Then I'll begin with the most promising new entrant, Assamese. And the most promising new entrant, Assamese, goes to Tokin Domin. A big round of applause for Tokin Domin. we'll now move ahead with the most promising new entrant cafe. And the most promising new entrant cafe is Tabletop Cafe. Congratulations to Tabletop Cafe. Our next most promising new entrant in fast food is Chatkara. Next up, we have the most promising new entrant vegetarian, and we have joint winners in this. The first joint winner is Cafe 361. Our next joint winner in the most promising new entrant vegetarian category is Cloud 7 Restaurant. Move ahead with the next category, and that is the most promising new entrant pub bar. And that goes to Freemasons. Bar award to Freemasons. We have two more final categories to go in the promising new entrant category, and that is the most promising new entrant Oriental, and that goes to Keiko. And now the most promising new entrant in fine dining, I beg your pardon, and the winner is Olayo. Well, our next category is the best mithai shop. But before we do that, I'd like to call upon stage Director of the Pratidin Group, Rishi Borua, to kindly come on stage to do the honors for giving away the awards, and we'll take a look at the nominations together as well. Well, the nominations for best mithai shop are JB's, Kiran Shri, Makhan Bhog, Rasa, and Beverage Sweets.
G Plus Guwahati Food Award 2020 honors Kiran Shri as the best mithai shop.
Next up is the best bakery. Well, bakeries have proved to be our lifeline on more occasions than one. But the nominations for best bakery are Fraser's Bakery, Kolita Cafe, Patisserie Opera, Stylo Cake, and The Breadsmith.
So the best bakery award goes to Fraser's Bakery.
Congratulations, Fraser's Bakery. Well, next up, we'll move ahead with the best cafeteria. And the nominations are Patisserie Opera, Etik, the Restro Cafe, Cafe Bellevue, Uptown Escape, Chillax Cafe and Bistro, Tabletop Cafe, Kolita Cafe, Cafe Gram, Brewbake's Cafe, Tipsy Town Cafe, Haveli, and the Tea Story. Do we have one more after this? And Piazza, yeah.
So the best cafeteria is Attic, the Resto Cafe.
Well, before we move ahead with our next award category, I'd like to call upon stage Kashmiri Borbatuginath, jury member of Guwahati Food Awards, to kindly do the honors. We request you to kindly come on stage. Well, our next category is the best fast food joint single outlet. And the nominations are Big Bites, Chatkara, Epic Momos, Four Seasons, Wings, and Yanchin.
The winner for G Plus Guwahati Food Award 2020 Best Fast Food Joint is, guess what? Four Seasons.
For winning the best fast food single outlet joint, Guwahati Food Awards 2020. Well, to do the honors for the next award, I'd like to call upon stage our jury member, Nathaniel Giri. So the next segment is the best fast food joint chain, and the nominations are Chicken Chili, Foodies World, JB's, Kiran Shri, and Rolls Mania. And to do the honors, I'd request Giri to kindly read out the name of the winner.
The best fast food joint goes to Chicken Chili.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to do the honors for our next category, I'd like to call upon stage our jury member, Rachit Sahu. Well, our next category is the place where we hang out the most. And the nominations are Attic, Freemasons, Cafe Bellevue, Yoko Sizzlers, Tabletop Cafe, Kolita Cafe, Exoro, Garage Cafe, Suravi, Haveli, Cafe Ground.
Okay, it's Cafe Bellevue.
We'll move on with our next category, but before I do that, I'd like to call upon stage our jury member Abhishek Bedi Verma, Best Club or Lounge, and the nominations are Brooklyn Blues, Exoro, Nuts and Brew, NYX or Nix as you call it, Socialite.
Best Club Lounge goes to Exoro.
We'll move on to the Best Pub Bar, and to give away the award for the Best Pub Bar, I'd like to call upon stage Surendra Kumar, IGP and CIE. I request sir to kindly come on stage. For the Best Pub Bar, and the nominations are Freemasons here, the Whiskey Bar and Grill, Exoro, Socialite, Nuts and Brew, Brooklyn Blues, and Giatta.
The award for Best Pub Bar goes to Nuts and Brew.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would now request Chairman of the Jury, Suresh Hinduja, to kindly address the gathering and share his thoughts on Guwahati's food industry as it stands today.
I've been associated with these awards for the last 6 years, ever from the beginning, and each year Guwahati continues to impress me. I can palpably see the difference, and it is also thanks to these awards which is causing the awareness for everybody to compete and become better and better. G Plus has to be thanked for this monumental effort. They were the first ones who took the plunge when nobody else was doing it, and a brave plunge, and I'm so happy to see them reach this level of pinnacle today.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words. We'll now move ahead with our next category, and that is the Best Multi-Cuisine Restaurant. But before I do that, I'd like to call upon stage Sri S.K. Borua, MD of the Numurigo Refinery, to kindly come on stage. And our nominations are Four Seasons, Yoko Sizzlers, Spectrum Dine, Food Mafia, Exoro, Legacy, and Surabhi. And the square, that is Novotel. So we have, these are the nominations.
Colita Spectrum Dine.
Our next category is the Best Restaurant for All-Day Dining, and the nominations are Attic, Table Talk Cafe, JB's, Makhan Bhog, Rasa, and Uptown Escape.
Best Restaurant for All-Day Dining, Guwahati Food Awards, Uptown's Escape.
Well, we have given away a number of categories by now. How about some music now? What do you say? We're really privileged to have among with us one of the best contemporary artists of all times. Please put your hands together for the one and only Joy Borua.
I'd like to start with a song which is kind of dear to a lot of us here. This is, I don't know what you call this, folklore, it's our culture. It goes back to last century. Can the house lights go down a bit, please? Thank you.
Smith Jain and Swapnil Bharali to kindly come on stage and felicitate Joy Bolo with a small token of appreciation on behalf of Guwahati Food Awards. Well, the next category is my favorite category, the best restaurant for Assamese cuisine. We all love that, don't we? And the nominations for the best restaurant for Assamese cuisine are Missinga and Paradise Restaurant. Well, to give away the award, I'd like to call upon stage Anish Nair from Purabi.
And the award goes to Missinga Restaurant.
Well, the next category is another one of my favorite categories, and that's the Naga cuisine. The nominations for the best restaurant for Naga cuisine are Missinga and Nagamese. But to do the honors, I'd like to call upon stage Father Sebastian Matthew of Don Bosco School, Pan Bazar. The winner is Nagamese. The next category is the best restaurant for European cuisine or continental. And to do the honors, I'd like to call upon stage General Manager Vivanta Guwahati, Ashwini Anand. I request her to kindly come on stage. The nominations for the best restaurant for European cuisine are Exoro, Piazza, the Whiskey Bar and Grill, Yoko Sizzlers.
Good evening. The winner for the best restaurant for European cuisine continental is Piazza.
Our next category is the best restaurant for fine dining. The nominations for the best restaurant for fine dining are Four Seasons, Food Mafia, Kolita Spectrum Dine, Keiko, the Yellow Chili, and Walking Mama, Red Hot Chili Pepper, and Legacy.
For best restaurant for fine dining Guwahati, winning the Plus-Guwahati Food Awards 2020 is Yellow Chili.
Well, our next category is the best restaurant for South Indian cuisine. Well, to do the honors, I'd like to call upon stage Dr. Siddharth Singh, Commissioner and Secretary, Government of Assam, to kindly come on stage. There are two nominations for the best restaurant for South Indian cuisine, and the nominations are JB's and Makhan Bhog.
And the winner is JB's.
Well, our next category is the best North Indian Mughlai cuisine. And the nominations are Rang De Basanti, Urban Dhaba, Shahi Darbar, and the Yellow Chili.
And the winner for this category is Rang De Basanti Urban Dhaba.
We'll move ahead with our next category, and that is the best restaurant for Oriental cuisine. But before we do the honors, I'd like to call upon stage Commissioner of Police, Guwahati, Shri M.P. Gupta, to kindly join us. The best restaurant for Oriental cuisine and the nominations are Oriental Bistro, Red Hot Chili Pepper, and Keiko.
The award goes to Red Hot Chili Pepper.
The best restaurant for vegetarian food, and the nominations are Cafe 361, Haveli, JB's, Kiran Shri, Makhan Bhog, Rasa, and Shahi Darbar.
And the award for this category goes to Shahi Darbar.
Our next category is the category which has revolutionized a lot of things. And this is the new age kitchen that we all talk about, the cloud kitchen. And that is our next category. But before I do that, I'd like to call upon stage Director General of Police, Assam, Shri Bhaskar Jyoti Mohanto. The nominations for the best cloud kitchen are Big Bites and One Stop Kitchen.
The best one in this category is One Stop Kitchen.
Best dessert and ice cream parlor. The nominations are Cream and Curls, Frozen Stone, Sweet Cow, and Thanko's Natural Ice Cream.
The best dessert and ice cream parlor is Cream and Curls.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just like every year, this year too, Guwahati Food Awards is back with their coffee table book, and I think it's about time we go ahead with the launch of the coffee table book. This is the category for the best home baker.
Best home baker of the year is Riya Kashyap Katwar.
Well, our next category is the best specialty cuisine, and to do the honors, I'd like to call upon stage Sunit Jain, Director of Guwahati Food Awards. The nominations for the best specialty cuisine restaurant are Oriental Bistro, Red Hot Chili Pepper, Woking Mama, and Yoko Sizzlers.
And the best restaurant for specialty cuisine is Yoko Sizzlers.
Next category is setting benchmark through innovation. And to give away the awards,
I've just seen the entry of Additional Chief Secretary Maninder Singh. And may I request Mr. Maninder Singh to please come up on stage and give away this award.
The nominations are Cream and Curls, Dokin Domin, Eggivorous, Freemasons, Frozen Stone, Golden Grilled Barbecue, Nuts and Brew, Oriental Bistro, Style Cake, Sweet Cult, Tea Story, Yatai, and the Yoko Sizzlers.
Sweet Cult.
For being we'll move ahead with our next category, and that is the best Instagrammable restaurant. And the nominations are Edic, Cafe Bellevue, Freemasons, Olive Garden, Tabletop Cafe, and Uptown Escape.
Olive Garden as the best Instagrammable restaurant, along with Uptown Escape.
Before we move ahead with our next category, I'd like to call upon stage editor for G+, Swapnil Bharali, to kindly come on stage to present away the next award. And our next category is the best food truck, and the nominations are Rolls Mania and Yatai.
It's Rolls Mania.
Rolls Mania for winning the best. Our next category is the best restaurant for barbecue and grill, and our nominations are Absolute Barbecue and Barbecue Nation.
Of course, Barbecue Nation.
And now finally, we'll move ahead with the best restaurant of the year. But before we do that, I'd once again like to call upon stage our Honorable Minister, Shri Porimal Subrabandhu, to kindly come on stage to give away the honor for the best restaurant of the year, Guwahati Food Award 2020. I'd also request Sunit Jain to kindly join our Honorable Minister. I'd request Shri Suresh Hindujaji, our members from the jury, to kindly join us. I'd also request Shri Bhaskar Jyoti Mohanta to kindly join us. Let me announce the name of the nominations. The nominations for the restaurant of the year are Barbecue Nation, it appears as Uptown Escape here, Shahi Darbar, Spectrum Dine, Food Mafia, Piazza, Barbecue Nation, and Absolute Barbecue. I'd request our chief guest for the evening, the Honorable Minister, to kindly announce the name of the restaurant of the year.
Restaurant of the year, Pizza.
Piazza. And I'd like to call upon stage editor of G+, Swapnil Bharali, to kindly offer the vote of thanks here this evening.
Well, that's it. We've done it. The 6th edition of Guwahati G+, Guwahati Food Awards is done, and the winners, congratulations to each and every one of them. Firstly, thanks to the Honorable Minister of Excise, Mr. Subrabandhu. Thank you for being right there from the beginning till the end. I hope you enjoyed it. To each of the sponsors, Blender's Pride Reserve Collection, the Department of Tourism, Ohomia Protein and Protein Time, Purodi, Magic Cook, Dip Tips, Vivanta Guwahati, and Outreach Advertising. Thanks for all that you have done to make this possible. The jury, to the chairman of the jury, Mr. Suresh Hinduja, you've been rock solid behind us every year. Thanks. Once again this year, you've been with us. To the members of the jury, Kashmiri Borkagoti Nath, Abhishek Bedi Verma, Rachit Sabu, Nathaniel Giri. From the bottom of my heart, I've seen the hard work that you've done. To Joy Borwa for giving us such lovely musical entertainment. I hope he's around somewhere hearing my voice. If not, please do convey that I said my thanks to him. To the team of GFA, my team, for this outstanding work. I know there have been a few hiccups here and there today, but that it happens all the time. Thank you very much to my team, and can I have a round of applause for my team, please? Thank you very much, and I guess that's it.
Thank you so much, everyone. This is your host, Ricky Sharma, saying good night. Hoping to see you in Guwahati Food Awards 2021. Thank you and good night once again.